10 years ago, I buried my father. Last week, I received a photograph of him alive. Older, haunted, standing in front of a building tied to a corporation powerful enough to kill for silence. Now strangers are chasing me. My home is no longer safe. And the only man who can protect me carries secrets that might ruin me. If my father is alive, finding him will cost me everything, including the chance to survive. My name is Sophia Kent, and I have lived long enough to understand that the past never dies. It lingers in photographs, in voices that echo when the house is quiet, in questions left unanswered. For years I believed my past had been buried with my father, whose death was a wound I never fully allowed to heal. But I was wrong. Death did not bury the past. It only taught it to wait. The first sign that everything I thought I knew was a lie came on a storm-drenched evening in October. The city outside my apartment roared with thunder. Lights flickered across wet streets, and the wind carried the smell of asphalt and burning leaves. I had just returned from a long day at the firm where I worked as a junior systems analyst, a job that chained me to monitors and endless data sheets but gave me the illusion of stability. I remember setting down my umbrella, peeling off my damp coat, and reaching for the stack of unopened mail on the floor when I noticed it. Envelope. It was heavier than ordinary mail, sealed with a strip of tape, and addressed to me in handwriting that looked rushed, almost panicked. No return address. My chest tightened as I slid my finger under the seal. Inside was a single photograph that dropped into my palm like a fragment of another life. It was a picture of my father. He was standing in front of a building I didn't recognize, his jaw set. His eyes filled with something I had never seen in him before, fear. My father had been dead for 10 years, buried in a modest grave beneath the oak trees at St. Augustine Cemetery. Yet the photograph was recent. His hair was grayer, his shoulders more stooped, his face lined by time. On the back of the photograph, written in a trembling hand, were 5 words that made my heart stop. He isn't who you think he is. Be ready. The floor seemed to shift beneath me. I sank onto the couch, clutching the photo so tightly my fingers trembled. 1,000 memories flashed through my mind. Birthday candles, the warmth of his laugh. His hands guiding mine when he taught me to ride a bike. How could this be possible? If my father was alive, why had we buried him? And who wanted me to know this now? I should have called someone. I should have questioned the evidence, looked for a logical explanation, but something inside me whispered that this was not a mistake. Someone wanted me to see this. Someone wanted me to know that the life I had built was balanced on lies. That night I barely slept. I lay awake listening to the rain against the window, the photograph on the nightstand beside me, glowing under the lamp like it carried its own light. Every time I closed my eyes I saw his face, alive, aging, waiting. By morning, fear had turned into determination. I needed answers. I started with the building in the background of the photograph. Enlarging the image on my computer, I traced the signage above the glass doors. The letters were faded but readable. Monarch Industries. The name meant nothing to me, yet the more I searched, the more it surfaced in unsettling places. Monarch Industries was a private corporation with interests in energy, shipping, and, according to scattered reports buried in obscure news outlets, defense technology. My father had never spoken about working for any corporation. He was a floor manager at a factory, a man who smelled of grease and smoke when he came home, a man who wore his exhaustion like a second skin. Monarch Industries was not part of that world. Unless everything I thought I knew was wrong. Called my mother. She answered with her usual tired voice, clipped and practical. Rachel, it's early. Is something wrong? I hesitated. Mom. Did Dad ever work for a company called Monarch Industries? Silence. Then a sharp inhale. Where did you hear that name? I came across it. I lied, my voice shaking. Why? Her tone hardened. Don't go digging into things you don't understand. Your father is gone. Leave it alone. But it was too late. That single sentence was confirmation enough. She knew something. She had always known. The following evening, as I left the office, I felt eyes on me. The crowd on the subway platform pressed in from every side, the air heavy with heat and impatience, yet I could sense someone watching. I glanced back. A man in a dark coat lingered near the stairwell, his gaze fixed on me. When the train arrived and the crowd surged forward, he didn't board. He stayed where he was, still watching. Carried the unease home with me. My apartment, once a place of safety, felt compromised, every shadow sharp, every creak amplified. I locked the door, drew the blinds, and checked them twice. The photograph was still on the nightstand, waiting. I wanted to burn it, to erase what it had stirred in me, but I couldn't. The next day at work, I received an email. No subject line. No sender I recognized. Just a single sentence. Meet me at Pier 9 tonight. Midnight. Come alone if you want the truth. I should have deleted it. I should have ignored the gnawing in my chest. But something about those words pulled me forward, a current too strong to resist. That night, the city was cloaked in fog as I made my way to the pier. The air reeked of salt and rust, the water black beneath the moon. I pulled my coat tighter, the photograph hidden in the pocket. My footsteps echoed on the wooden planks until I reached the end of the pier, where a figure waited in the shadows. It was a man, tall, broad-shouldered, his face half hidden beneath a hood. His voice was low, urgent. You shouldn't have come. They'll be watching you. Who are you? My voice trembled despite my effort to sound strong. Why did you send me that picture? He stepped closer, his eyes catching the faint light. They were sharp, haunted, filled with truths he wasn't ready to speak. Because your father isn't dead. And if you want to find him, you'll need me. The world tilted, the air ripped from my lungs. I staggered back, gripping the railing. That's not possible. It is, he said. But if you keep asking questions, you'll be hunted. Just like him. Just like me. I searched his face, desperate for something solid in this nightmare. Who are you to him? For a moment, pain flickered across his features. An ally. Once. Before I could press further, a sound split the silence, the crunch of footsteps, the metallic click of a weapon. The man's eyes widened. He grabbed my arm. Run! Gunfire erupted, shattering the night. I ran, my heart pounding, my breath tearing from my throat. The man stayed behind, his body shielding mine as bullets sparked against the railings. I didn't look back. Couldn't. I sprinted into the fog, the photograph burning against my side, my father's face etched into my mind. When I finally reached the street, my legs shaking, my lungs raw, I realized the truth. This wasn't just about my father. Whoever he was, whatever he had been part of, was now my inheritance. And someone out there wanted me silenced before I could uncover it. But beneath the terror, another feeling stirred. An unexpected pull toward the man who had saved me, whose eyes had spoken of loyalty and loss. I didn't even know his name, yet the thought of him refusing to run, of him standing against danger for me, sparked something deep and reckless. I returned home to find my apartment door ajar. My chest tightened as I pushed it open. Inside, nothing was stolen, but everything had been touched, moved, rearranged. On the table lay a single rose, its petals crimson, and beside it, a note written in the same hurried hand as the photograph. The rose on my table wilted slowly over the following days, its petals darkening into bruised velvet. I couldn't bring myself to throw it away. It was more than a flower. It was a warning, a reminder that I was being watched, that my every move was part of a game I didn't understand. I should have run, left the city, vanished into obscurity. But the photograph of my father remained on my nightstand, heavy with unspoken truths. The man who had saved me on the pier haunted my thoughts too. His eyes, steady and bruised by loss, stayed with me when I closed mine. I didn't even know his name, but I knew I wasn't finished with him. The days at work blurred into mechanical hours, my colleagues oblivious to the storm that consumed me. Yet beneath the hum of computers and the shuffle of papers, I felt the presence of something larger pressing down on me. Every time my phone buzzed, every time footsteps followed me down the hall, I expected another threat. The first direct contact came 3 nights later. My apartment intercom buzzed. The screen showed the same man from the pier. His hood down this time, his face visible. "Let me in," he said when I answered. His voice was low, urgent. I hesitated, my heart slamming against my ribs. "Why should I trust you?" "Because they'll come for you tonight. You don't have time to doubt me." Fear and instinct wrestled within me. Against all logic, I pressed the buzzer. A moment later, he stood in my doorway, tall and solid, his presence filling the space. His jacket was worn, his face shadowed with stubble, but his eyes burned with focus. "You need to leave," he said. "Now." "Who are you?" I demanded, backing away slightly. He scanned the apartment, checking the windows, the corners, the door locks. "Someone who once trusted your father. That trust cost me everything. My name doesn't matter right now. Survival does." I gripped the photograph still on my table. "My father is alive. Isn't he?" His eyes flickered, a storm passing through them. "Alive, yes. But the man you knew, he isn't the same. He made choices that can't be undone. Choices that pulled me in too." Before I could question him further, the sound of heavy footsteps echoed in the hall outside. He grabbed my arm, pulling me toward the fire escape. "They're here." We fled into the night, down the narrow metal stairs, the chill air biting my skin. Behind us, my apartment door splintered under force. Shouts followed, sharp commands, the click of weapons. We melted into the alley shadows, my pulse hammering as we ran block after block until the city swallowed us. Finally he slowed, his hand still gripping mine. The contact was electric, a tether pulling me from fear into something unsteady, dangerous, but impossible to deny. We stopped beneath a flickering streetlight. His chest rose and fell with harsh breaths. "From this moment you can't go back. You're part of this now." "I never asked to be part of it," I said, my voice cracking. "No one ever asks." For the first time I saw something softer in him, a fracture in his hardened exterior. He looked at me not just as someone to protect, but as someone he understood. That recognition sparked something I hadn't felt in years. A dangerous pull that had nothing to do with survival and everything to do with the way his presence silenced the chaos around me. We found refuge in an abandoned warehouse by the docks. The place smelled of rust and salt, its walls scarred with graffiti, its windows shattered. He barricaded the door, then finally turned to face me. "My name is Marcus Hale," he said quietly. "Your father once trusted me. I trusted him. That trust destroyed my life. But I can't let them destroy yours." The name hung between us, solid and real. "Why me?" I whispered. "Because you're the only link to him now. And they'll use you to get to him." My throat tightened. "What did he do, Marcus?" He looked away, pain etched across his features. "Your father built something for Monarch Industries. Something that could shift power on a global scale. But when he realized what they would use it for, he ran. They've been hunting him ever since. And now they've found you." The weight of his words crushed me. My father wasn't just alive. He was entangled in something monstrous, something that reached beyond our lives. Marcus stepped closer, his eyes searching mine. "You need to decide right now if you want to walk away, disappear, pretend you never saw that photograph. If you stay, you won't get out unscathed." I swallowed hard, my pulse thundering. "I want the truth. No matter the cost." Something in his expression shifted, softening, as if my resolve stirred something buried deep within him. In that moment, danger blurred with desire, fear tangled with longing. His hand brushed mine, tentative yet steady, and the warehouse around us faded until only the two of us remained. But before either of us could surrender to the pull, a noise shattered the fragile moment, the screech of tires outside, the crack of a door being forced open. Marcus pushed me behind him, his weapon drawn, his jaw set. "We're out of time," he whispered. The doors burst inward. Black-clad figures poured into the warehouse, their movements precise, ruthless. Bullets tore through the air. Marcus returned fire, pulling me toward a side exit. We ran, the night exploding around us, shadows and violence merging into chaos. When we finally stumbled into the freezing air, lungs burning, bodies trembling, I knew nothing would ever be the same. I was no longer just a woman grieving a father's death. I was the daughter of a man who had built something worth killing for. And I was bound to a stranger whose loyalty and secrets might save me, or destroy me. The city stretched before us, endless and unforgiving. Somewhere out there my father was alive. Somewhere the truth waited, dark and unstoppable. And I was ready to face it,